Okay, welcome back to Algebra 2. This is Chapter 2, Section 1. We're still doing transformations, but now we are going to do transformations of quadratics. So our essential question is how do the constants a, h, and k affect the graph of the quadratic function of the form g of x equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. All right, so you should have this cheat sheet in front of you. It's the transformation cheat sheet, and it includes everything you've already learned about lines and everything you are about to learn about the quadratics. So before we get started, let's go ahead and do some practice problems here of analyzing relationships. It says in exercises 23 to 26, match the graph of the transformation of f with the correct equation shown and explain your reasoning. Okay, so here's our original graph right here. And let's start with the most obvious transformation. The most obvious transformation you should see is the plus 2 on the outside. As you recall, when there's a plus 2 or anything on the outside, that is a translation either up or down. So in our case, we have gone up 2 on the graph, and so D is 25. Okay, now that's the quickest, easiest one. Now go ahead and look at 23, 24, and 26. Two of those look to be a bit taller or narrower than the original graph. And one of them appears to be about the same as the original graph. So hopefully you're looking at number 23 right now and you're saying, hey, it looks to be about the same as the original graph. When the plus 2 is on the inside of the parentheses, what you're doing actually is moving left. Now they haven't given us numbers here, so you can't tell for sure, but I'm going to say that number 23 is the answer C. So now we have horizontal and vertical stretches and shrinks. So you need to go back to what you know about a horizontal stretch and shrink and a vertical stretch and shrink. Basically, horizontal is dealing with the y-axis. So either the graph is going away from the y-axis or it is going toward the y-axis. Now, a vertical stretch or shrink is when you're going away from or toward the x-axis. Now, the horizontal stretch and shrink is the one that's happening on the inside with the x. So I already know for sure that that one there is the horizontal stretch or shrink. And because the a value is a 2, it says it's a shrink toward the y-axis. It's a shrink toward the y-axis. Okay, over here you have the 2 in front of the function, so you're just multiplying the function by 2. And 2 is greater than 1, so that should be a stretch away from the x-axis. Stretching away from the x-axis. Basically what's happening here is you're either multiplying the output or you're multiplying the input of the function. So we're going to say that a here multiplies the output of the function, and I'm going to suggest to you that the y values increase faster that way. That is why I'm going to choose A for 24. And then that means B is 26. Okay, same thing, here we go again with parabolas. So remember, for number 13 here, the change is happening on the inside. Here the change is happening on the inside, inside. And inside means opposite. Also, you have some up ones and minus ones. Okay, so here's our vertex. Take a look at these. What do you think? Hopefully you're saying B for 16, where you're going to go down 1 unit. For your number 13, you're going to go to the right one of where it's at, but you're not going to go up any. So for me, I feel like that would be A. Now here you're going to go exactly where you're at, just up. So exactly where you're at, just up, 14. And that leaves 15 to go up from where you're at, but to also shift to the right. So a little bit tricky without having actual numbers here, but it's good exercise for our brains. Okay, moving on. More. This is just more. So now we're matching the quadratics with the graphs. Now because we have this matching in front of us, let's go ahead and identify quickly the negatives. So I'm going to grab a highlighter here, yellow, and I'm going to say that A is going down, D is going down, and E is going down. So that's this letter A, choice, going down, or here, or here. And this time where we're dealing with numbers, it's actually going to be a lot easier for us because we can just identify the vertices pretty quickly here. This is a shift of 2 to the right from the origin. There is no up or down movement happening here. That's a 0. Okay, there is no up or down movement. So notice over here you had moving down, and over here, so what I'm talking about moving down is the vertex. Over on E, you had moving up from the origin, but here you stayed on the x-axis and all you did was move 2 to the right. So I'm going to say that D is A. Okay, so now let's look for our down movement. One of those goes down, one of them goes up. Which is it? Well, it's on the outside of the parentheses, so it is what you see. So this minus 2 is in fact the one that goes down. So that's letter C. This plus 2 is what happens, so that is letter F. Now let's go ahead and look at the parabolas that are going up. They're opening up. So this one over here, the vertex just shifted to the right. This vertex shifted to the right and also went up. This vertex shifted to the right and also went down. I'm going to get a green pen here. There's your shift to the right. There's your shift to the right. There's your shift to the right. Now here you're looking about going down, going up, going nowhere. Okay, so which is which? Think on that for a minute. Okay, right here I didn't go anywhere, so that's my letter E. Over here I went up, so that's my letter B. And over here I went down, down is my letter D. Okay, this is on your cheat sheet in front of you. Basically just reminding you horizontal, so right and left, happens on the inside and it's the opposite. Maybe write that on your cheat sheet. Vertical happens on the outside and it is what you see. So here's inside. So maybe I would make some notes on your cheat sheet. Okay, moving on. Describe the transformation from x squared. Well, two things happened. Plus 4 is happening on the inside, and the minus 1, which means we are translating. We are going to the left 4 units, and we are going down 1 unit. Okay, moving on. Describing again, and then we're going to graph. Okay, I do want you to have practice graphing, so go ahead and pause the video and grab your graphing calculator and try to graph these along with the parent function x squared. And if you have any questions, you can just ask me. So here we go. The minus 3 is happening on the inside, which means we are going to the right 3 units. On number 2, the minus 2 is happening on the inside, and then there's a minus 2 happening on the outside. So that minus 2 on the inside is going to the right 2 units. The minus 2 on the outside is going down 2 units. And number 3, last but not least here, plus 5 is on the inside, so that's horizontal, right, left. We're going to go left 5 and up 1. Okay, again, I want you to get practice on your calculator. Please grab your graphing calculator, graph these, make sure you have the correct answer.